Hello and welcome back to this Field 21, where we see the mixed quarterfinals in the EUCF, in the finals of the European Ultimate Championships, the clubs division, where we see Tiefseetaucher taking on Disconnection, all German affair over here. And yeah, this is going to be an exciting match. I think the question on everyone's lips is, can Tiefseetaucher be defeated this season? They haven't lost a single game during the whole season. All of their ranked games, they won. All of them. Absolutely all of them. And now we are in the knockout stages where it all means even more. And yeah, we've seen Tiefseetaucher basically doing what they did best. The first point was a break to them, and Disconnection in blue, as you see on your screens, are making another mistake. And Tiefseetaucher gonna pick that up, and looks like they just gonna shoot deep after a few resets. The first point belonged to Philipp Haas, to Joanna Erdmann. And looks like there's going to be a bit of a discussion on the field. And yeah, we're going to get really close to the end zone and to the second break of this game. Wouldn't that be an exciting opening for Tiefseetaucher? And I'm sure that Disconnections from Freiburg, from another part, not very far actually, these two cities, Freiburg, Munich, I wouldn't really say that they're very far away from each other, but I'm sure that Freiburg players would have some other plans for the opening of this particular match. And yeah, Tiefseetaucher now finding themselves with a 2-point lead in the very beginning of the game after a couple of disconnections and yeah, some miscommunication from the Freiburg side. Very unfortunate for them, but Sebastian Heinzen is taking that opportunity, and Philip Kitchen is getting that into his hands. Interesting. I don't see a few players on my other roster. So it looks like I'm gonna need to add a few players over here. And yeah, Tiefseetaucher, I apologize. It looks like I've made a horrible mistake. Yeah. Sometimes it is a little bit confusing with not really knowing who is wearing which kit. And now I have finally realized what's going on and why I don't see some of the players there. It is because Freiburg is in white and Tiefseetaucher is in deep blue. I think that's the way we could remember them. And it was the Freiburg who actually managed to start with a 2-0 lead. But finally, the deep sea divers in their deep blue jerseys finding their first point. So scratch everything that I've been saying earlier about Freiburg wanting to start slightly differently. No, I think this was exactly the start that Freiburg was hoping for. I think they came out of the blocks super hot, knowing that they're going against the team that hasn't lost a single game all season long. And yeah, they managed to punch in a couple of breaks to themselves. Now Tiefseetaucher finally looks to have found their own focus and centered themselves a little bit. And yeah, I absolutely I completely apologize to everyone who was listening to that rambling of a crazy lunatic, and who knows these players a little bit better than I do. My apologies. Let's start over. Freiburg are going to pick up the disc, and that was almost a little bit too long for Gross, but there is a bit of a discussion going on there. I did not see how whatever happened downfield would have affected this particular pass that has happened. It looks like Arne Gross is going to pick the check the disc in just a second. And such an unfortunate, yeah, miscommunication over there with Daniel Turk, and that gives an opportunity for Tiefseetaucher to get that break back. Nice expanding throw there by Siebert. Siebert looks to be running this offense really nicely in that handler space, and a long shot. That's what wind does sometimes, I guess. Yeah, you still need to consider the conditions. I'm sure that this was a perfect throw, and this was a perfect cut. And I don't think that either of the players on the throwing and the receiving side would do anything differently ever. But that was a complete, yeah, wind said no, literally. Like it's not even an excuse. It's just wind said no. Disconnection. Freiburg going the other way, looking to extend their lead and to punch another point in. So far, the movement has been quite difficult for them. Quite a lot of defensive pressure on them, and still pretty good job. Finding a channel really close to the sideline. Long shot, a little too long though for Jonathan Eggs. I'm not sure who was the author of that throw, but Eggs was not able to get close to it. And how many chances did people have to catch that disc? Nobody did, and the ground took it. And Disconnection taking it and sending it deep right away. Daniel Turk sending that disc deep, and that was a little bit too deep for the receiver. Once again, Tiefseetaucher gonna pick that up and get it there. Couple of deep options over there, and yeah, that shot once again a little bit too long. I think both of the teams, I think Tiefseetaucher's idea here, they did have two deep receivers who actually had separations over their defense, but I think they wanted to play a bit of a huck and D game, as we've seen that the wind was quite brutal at times, and Disconnection is going to have to work all the way other way, and great initiation. A bit of a pick. Yeah, that looks to be quite a lot of bodies in the middle of the field. So quite a lot of boshing, or almost boshing, happening there. Not something that we like to see. And some good movement. After some good movement, unfortunately, the disc once again finding the ground, and Tiefseetaucher looking to equalize. Can they do that this time around? Good lateral pass. Pushing it in a little bit and into the end zone, just in front of this end zone line. Good reception. And that is a good point for Tiefseetaucher, who are finding themselves one break down, but still level at the score. So we are at 2-2. The first point of Tiefseetaucher was scored by none other than Lorenzo Pavan to Dennis Holzer. Second point, Torben Hornschmeier to Andrew Gavin for that score. So as you can hear, Tiefseetaucher are picking up a couple of pickups. So Lorenzo Pavan from Italy, of course, a very well-known player by many, and Andrew Gavin from the USA, of course, current city Munich, occupation PhD student. Very nice, great. And Lorenzo Pavan, I'm sure I don't need to bring you a lot of details about him. I'm sure you've heard this name a few times if you've been watching Ultimate in the last couple years. A little longer than that, I'm sure. So 2-2. Great start, hot start by Disconnection, but then Tiefseetaucher managing to get one break back. If Tiefseetaucher are going to get another break, we basically going to be on serve. So let's see if they can run it. And long shot for Disconnection. What's going to be the outcome? A reception, but not in, just not in the end zone. On that end zone line, looking for anything for a reset. Finally, finding her teammate Daniel Turk, and stoppage over here has ensued. Let's see what's going to happen. I think the disc will stay with Turk. Disc is in. Very close to punching in, and a break throw. Looks like Daniel Turk to number 35, Joanna Erdmann, for the disconnection throw. So the disconnection connection. Yeah, all of the commentators love the name of disconnection. So many things you can connect it to. Yeah, this is going to be an exciting quarterfinal. So quarterfinal round all around. We've got a mixed bracket playing right now, and also an open bracket being played right now. So all the action, of course, I will be updating you with all of the scores. Now we finally got our live scores fixed. It wasn't working very well, or for all of the games yesterday, unfortunately, but it is all working, and all working pretty well today for everyone. So in this division, yes, the 4 quarterfinals are Tiefseetaucher Disconnection, the one that you are watching right now, Seskidistus and Savage Ultimate. Seskidistus currently 3-1 up. Deep Space and Reading Ultimate, all British, all UK affair. 2-2 at the moment, and Mosquito Star 2, 1-1. Oh, this is the game to watch as well. But of course, always exciting to see if the undefeated team will ever get defeated on this particular field. However, Benji Rees is saying that this is their year. They just came together for this one shot at this particular tournament, and so far it's been great for them, but not this throw. Freiburg and Disconnection will get another shot at a break. Long shot is up. Can they get it? Oh no, I thought the bit was coming, but Not this time, not this time from Sebastian Heinzen. He was close enough, I think, to bid for that disc, but decided not to. Maybe saving himself for another moment here. And the Open quarterfinal is open being played right now, but unfortunately we do not see the live scoring for these 4 games. Mooncatcher's Gentle, BFD La Foda against Chevron, Action Flash, Wall City Chuck, and Clapham Groot. Also 4 very exciting games, very exciting matches. It looks like Freiburg player is going to call that out. I think there is a benefit, like a good benefit of a doubt, that he was maybe actually in. And oh, nice, he did retract his goal. I think that was number 5 on the number 5 on Disconnection squad. Lorenzo Pavan, of course, arguing that he was in. However, yeah, lots of Freiburg players are suddenly deciding to give their perspective. Okay, the disc is actually sent back at the very end of this discussion. It was really interesting that the players basically already decided what it's gonna be, the ones involved, but then some other players decided that they also have a perspective and they also want to talk, just as the disc was almost checked in. Regardless, after quite a long discussion, the disc was sent back, and Tiefseetaucher are working it all the way into the attacking end zone. Let's see. Ooh. Hanging shot, but well taken by Tiefseetaucher. Pavan now with the disc and into the defender. And obviously that is taken away very quickly by Disconnection. And yeah, this is definitely not an easy match for Tiefseetaucher. I'm sure that they were expecting it. I think all of these players know each other pretty well on both Disconnection and Tiefseetaucher side. And that shot was way too blady for the Disconnection reception. And after a bit of a roll, yeah, Tiefseetaucher will need to work that disc all the way to the other side, as they will start from their own end zone. Not going to be an easy task, but I'm sure that Tiefseetaucher are up for it, despite the windy conditions. Despite the difficulties that they may face, I'm sure that they will be happy to take it on. And early long cut, and that shot is taken, and that disc is received. Amazing stuff here. Pavan now with the disc at the back of the field. And let's see. Hermaking, they received that long shot now, getting it once again in their hand, and Saskia back with a blade into the end zone. for a score for Tiefseetaucher and for the equalizer of 3-3 score. So Saskia, back to Jan Vatrin. How did he read that? I have no idea. I actually have... Very interesting. All right. A couple of different rosters, I guess, but I will trust the one at the EUCS, and it does say Jan Vatrin, but yeah, not entirely sure who plays onto number 10. If you do know, please let us know in the chats, or you can always contact other of your fellow volunteers and commentators. But it's always nice to have the correct facts and shout out the right people, of course. Disconnection, unfortunately not connecting very well on that low pass, and Tiefseetaucher are gonna get an opportunity to bring us back on serve. As Disconnection starting really, really well, but unfortunately, yeah, a few turnovers are not helping them, and looks like, yeah, the one clinical team that everybody is talking about, Tiefseetaucher, they are turning over that disc, and the Disconnection are back with it. Freiburg attacking and going the other way. Long shot taken away by the defense. Daniel Turk was close and hunting for it, but looks like the defender had some better ideas and managed to get the disc to Tiefseetaucher. Disc is checked in by the sounds of it. Hornschmeyer finding his teammate, reset. Back to Hornschmeyer, and now a long shot into the end zone, but too low. And that disc is sliding on the ground. And yeah, I think he did have Powell, their fellow handler, available, but as they elected to go and send that disc deep, that gave it back to Disconnection. Disconnection have two players with separation now, one, and great reception basically on the doorstep over there. Banquets with the disc, going all the way into the end zone, but that is knocked away by Tiefseetaucher's defender in the end zone. I think that was Ketnaka of Tiefseetaucher who orchestrated the defense after a very high stall count throw, and that disc was too high for Marrero, taken away by Arne Gross. Arne Gross still looking for options. High stall count, inside flick shot. Can anybody read that better than the two defenders? Yes, she absolutely can. That is an amazing catch over there. After a very, very high stall count, we've managed, Pia Banquet managed to pick that disc up, and Arne Gross was the one who released that inside forehand shot. Very difficult shot for sure. So Disconnection now still being up by a couple points. We've got a few maintenance works on our VO camera going on right now, live and on screen, as you can see. Meanwhile, I can bring you the scores of the other games. So Distas are 5 points up, 5 points, and Savage Ultimate 2. So Seski are winning it pretty comfortably at the moment. Deep Space against Reading. Deep Space is down on Reading. So Reading is 4, Deep Space 3. Mosquitoes, Tartu. Mosquitoes are 4 and Tartu 3. So yeah, looks like some of the teams that had an extra game this morning are coming through pretty well. I think the only one who is winning right now after winning their pool is Distas. They are definitely be happy to get into the semifinals. And of course, later on, I will tell you all about the next round and who is looking at meeting whom in these particular matchups. The open quarterfinals are being played right now as well. Unfortunately, we don't have live scoring for them, but I can tell you that 2 fields are. Oh no, I may be wrong actually with that. I think the open quarterfinals are going to be played next round. I think the open games that are being played are in the lower bracket. So we are playing. The only quarterfinals being played are in the mixed division, where Tiefseetaucher are equalizing, and Dennis Holter throws an assist to Lorenzo Pavan for a 4-4 score. Very nice cheer we hear from Disconnection, yeah, Freiburg. I think that actually comes from the other generally German cheer, ja Deutschland. But as both of these teams are actually from Germany, I think that wouldn't be entirely correct to use it. So I think they've had to adapt and change it to ja Freiburg rather than ja Deutschland. I've heard that a few times on the World Championships here and there. And yeah, interesting how sometimes all of these cheers are adapting to the situation. And yes, I just checked. The only quarterfinals that are being played are mixed quarterfinals. So the next round are going to be open quarterfinals, of course. So we want to bring you all the most exciting games. And for the moment, these are the more exciting ones. And Freiburg shooting deep, and nobody was under that disc. Absolutely nobody. I think Freiburg are maybe arguing that they were blocked by the defenders of Tiefseetaucher, but if the defenders of Tiefseetaucher were moving in the legal way and were just there and were not using their hands to prevent the players of Disconnection to get through it, that's legal by the rules of Ultimate. So very interesting discussion. We'll see, of course, what's going to happen. Looking at the hand signals, retracted call, so we are going to continue playing as nothing has happened over here. And Tiefseetaucher are going to pick the disc up, walk it to the central zone, and put the disc back in play. Once again, Tiefseetaucher looking to get a break back on Disconnection. They've had a few shots on it, but nothing successful yet. And oh, I think she has just gave a little bit too much space to the defender to run into it and didn't attack the disc enough. The female matching player there, and yeah, that disc was knocked away by the defense. And a few passes later, Disconnection finding once again another score to their name. So Lassie Hogan to Zuzana Wojtko. Zuzana Wojtko, a Hungarian player, a Hungarian import on that Disconnection squad. Always exciting to see some imports, of course. And yeah, Zuzana Wojtko from Budapest. And she is now living in Freiburg, unsurprisingly, of course, and playing with Disconnection, product manager in medical tech. Only playing for 4 years, but very interesting to see that, of course. Budapest has quite a lot of exciting teams there, and we see. Oh, yeah, lots of bodies under that disc, and oh my god, that was a save. That was a save and a half by Tiefseetaucher player in the end zone. I really would like to know who was it. Saskia Back. Looks like she maybe hurt her back a little bit on that reception, but Dennis Holzer, after reading the disc, that long shot perfectly, that floaty pass that almost could have been a bit of a hospital pass, picking that up and throwing it to Saskia Back, but maybe a little bit too much adrenaline in his blood, and that was very close to a turnover. But Saskia Back absolutely saving that possession there and bringing us to 5-5 in this mixed quarterfinal. Tiefseetaucher with a pull, and that is sailing out of bounds. Looks like, yeah, players are still adjusting to that wind, but of course, very nice to see the sun. The sun is out, and the rain has stopped. The first round, of course, was a very, very rainy game, but looks like this. The second and the third round of today's matches, no rain so far, and Freiburg, can they get it? No, second attempt on the defense, amazing grit by the defender in the end zone, going against two offensive players and yeah, knocking that down all the way and getting a hand slap from her opponent. I wonder who that is. Oh, unfortunately, I could not make out the number, and I don't know all of these players very well. If you know who that is, please let me know. That will always be very helpful. Oh, and all of these, all of this grid by Sarah Hermaking. I'm sure that she would not be very happy with that turnover there, as Freiburg now once again going the other way. Nover was the disc, and a hand block by Tiefseetaucher. I think that was Hornschmeyer with a hand block. So amazing plays, first by Hermeking and now by Hornschmeyer, giving the opportunity to Tiefseetaucher once again to punch it in. And Blady shot. Yeah, I think the defender of Disconnection actually read the play a little bit better than the receiving player. I think the the intended receiver was actually with his back towards the disc as the blade was coming towards him. Disconnection now, uh, lasering it to the downfield and looking for. Oh, looks like a bit of a pick on the play. Players are going to discuss and reposition as necessary, if necessary. And, apologies if you're having a few problems with the stream. I'm sure that we will be back in just a second. But unfortunately, looks like we've lost our signal, and we are working on it. Of course, shout out to Felix Nimitz, Nemo, who is helping us with the production. We've had a few problems yesterday, but they were solved, and we brought you 4 fields today. And I'm sure that is just temporarily. We all want to know what's happening in these quarterfinals. For the moment, I can tell you that Saski Distus is maintaining their 3-point lead over Savage Ultimate. Deep Space, 2-point lead over Reading Ultimate, so they are managing to get a few breaks on Reading. Mosquitoes and Tartu are managing to get a few breaks on Mosquitoes and edging just a little bit ahead there. So all exciting games and all exciting stuff here. Unfortunately, yeah, we're not able to see that particular game, but we are working on it. And apologies for some technical difficulties on site. And Tiefseetaucher, I can tell you, are managing to finally find a break and bring us back on serve. Nora Powell managing to find Sarah Hermeking, earlier hero of the defense, managing to get the disc away the first time and finally finding her score in the end zone from Nora Powell. Nora Powell has been playing for 14 years. That is incredible. And she's from Munich, defensive handler from Munich. Loves her backhand around breaks. I wonder if it was a backhand around break to Sarah Hermeking for that score. And Sarah Hermeking only played for about 4 years. And a student from Munich. Started because of her mother and sisters are also playing. And lots of club experience, of course, 3SB. MUC Women, German champions in 2023. Tiefseetaucher, German champions 2023. Oh, so she played in both mixed and women's side, and Zamperl as well. Wow, she's got some exciting national experience too. U20 German women national team as captain. Very exciting. By Sarah Hermaking. We are fixing a few things. I'm being informed on the stream, so we apologize for not being able to bring you the video stream at the moment, but I will do my best to update you on the scores all over the fields and yeah, as they are coming in. So Seskidistas now 6-4 over Savage. Savage are finding another hold, I think, against Seskidistas. Deep Space, Reading 6-4, maintaining, and Mosquito start to 6-4. So yeah, all of these games are 2-point games, and nobody's running away with them at the moment. There were a few games, of course, yesterday that were finished at with the results like 15-5. I think Hack was on the receiving end of that, and um, a couple other teams, of course, were beaten by more than 2-3 points. But I think as we are getting into the quarterfinal stage, these games are getting ever closer. And Tiefseetaucher, I must tell you, they are getting another break to themselves. Andrew Gavin, number 16, an American pickup from Asheboro, now living in Munich and a PhD student, is finding his teammate Tobias Borg for another score and another break. 7-5 lead for Tiefseetaucher. Tobias Borg, defensive cutter with 4 years of experience, and found ultimate as an alternative sport for handball, as handball was not played in the US. I assume that he has traveled there and studied there. And yeah, Tobias Borg looks like found himself on one of the top teams of the European mixed division. And unsurprisingly, as I've mentioned, Disconnection are taking a timeout after being broken twice in a row by Tiefseetaucher. And it looks like Tiefseetaucher are looking to do what they did best in all of these previous games and all that they did this season, and that is winning games. They have not lost a single game this season, at least ranked games from what I've heard. They did lose a game. Again, rumors. If you know something more, please confirm, or please tell me that it is not the case. But Tiefseetaucher, if we look at the ranking app, which is always an interesting thing to do. Tiefseetaucher are expected to win this game with a pretty comfortable score of 15 to 10.76. Rating difference almost 400 rating points. And yeah, expected score in this matchup is 15 to 10.76. So we will see how correct is the ranking up after we've given the ranking app quite a few matches to consider earlier. And in the end, Disconnection are actually finding another score and another hole to themselves. So Arne Gross to Svenja Kema for a 7-6 score. Arne Gross, yeah, two players from Freiburg there. So Arne Gross and Svenja Kemmer finding themselves on the field and authors of that particular score. Two female matching players. Always nice to see that, as many people are saying that this is a very male matching player dominated sport. I disagree. I think, especially this season, the women's division was very exciting to watch, and lots of players and lots of experts and commentators were talking how it is uh, the one to watch, so to say. Very exciting. Yeah, unfortunately, we are going to stop the stream right now. We are having some technical difficulties, and hopefully, we will be back for the next game. But for now, I, Dmitry Doroshenko, will tell you thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and hopefully, we will be back very soon. Until then, goodbye.